Hey, today we've got our first camera review by request. In my recent look at the Pentax PC35AF, my subscriber Andy commented, "Hi Dave, can you review the Pentax Zoom 280p in a future video, please?" My response was, well, I don't have one of those, so I can't really review it right now, but I'll go ahead and keep my eye out for it, and when I'm looking around thrifting, see if I can scoop one up. Well, about a week later, I went to the World of Photography in Columbus, and they had a sign up front that said 90% off all their clearance items for the month of May. So I went back to the clearance room, and after sifting through a couple hundred cameras, and yes, I do mean a couple hundred cameras, I actually found the Pentax Zoom 280p that Andy was talking about. So the original price on this was $40, but with 90% off, that suddenly became $4. And for $4, I figured, how wrong can I go? So went ahead and scooped it up, and today we're going to take a look at the Pentax Zoom 280p. Coming right up. The Pentax Zoom 280p was introduced in 1992. It's got a power zoom lens that ranges from 28 to 80 millimeters. On the wide end of the spectrum, the maximum aperture is f3.5. On the telephoto end, it is f8.0. It's got an infrared active autofocus. It does also offer a spot autofocus mode. Focus ranges from 1.8 feet to infinity. It's got a leaf shutter that ranges from 1/400th of a second to 1/5 of a second. Also offers a bulb mode. You can keep the shutter open up to 10 minutes. You see it's got DX coding right there. This will take DX codes from 25 all the way up to 3200. If you're using non-DX coded films, it defaults to 25, not 100 like some of my other models that I have. You can see it does have a standard aspect ratio of 24:36 here, although it does have a crop too. Little mask, you can mask for panoramic of 13:36. Motor drive here offers auto wind and load, auto rewind. Got that quartz date back here. Film window here. Does have a diopter on the top too, which is kind of nice. A lot of different features and modes on this. I typically set mine to the flash off mode. You can also do a red eye reduction. Then a lot of drive modes here as well. Get it set first for the self timer, which is a 10-second delay. Here we've got continuous shooting. There's multiple exposures. And here's interval, which is kind of cool too. A couple modes here. You can set focus for infinity and lock that there. Closer range, and then we have the spot autofocus as well. Zoom lever on the back. I'm not a huge fan of that because, again, when I have my glasses on and I'm moving this, it kind of scrapes up against my glasses. Another thing I don't really like that much about this camera is, well, first of all, it's got the little coin slot here that you have to use a coin to open this up. When you do open up the chamber, it actually takes two CR123A batteries. The weight of this without the batteries in is 14.5 ounces, so again, with the batteries in there, you're pushing almost a pound on this thing, so not a dainty little camera. Now that we've taken a closer look at the camera, let's go ahead and check out some images. Man, I was prepared to hate this camera for a couple of reasons, 4 reasons really. One is the weight. It's a lot heavier than the compacts I'm used to holding and shooting. One is the battery situation, taking 2 CR123A batteries. And the third thing is actually the battery chamber. It's got that little coin slot thing. You need to put a coin in there, which kind of bugs me a little bit. And then the last thing was, again, the zoom lever on the back. When I'm wearing my glasses, kind of gets in the way, rubs up against the glasses. So had a bunch of reasons not to like this, which made me feel kind of bad in a way, because I didn't want to dump all over this camera because Andy asked me to review it, and I didn't want to make him feel bad. But I will tell you this, I was pleasantly surprised with the shooting experience in the field. This worked out a lot better than I thought it was going to. So I mentioned it is heavier than what I'm used to carrying around. And my first thought was, well, you know, I've got all these compact point and shoot zooms. Why would I carry this heavier one around? And really the best reason I came up with was the focal length. This is, again, 28 to 80 millimeters. And most of my other compact point and shoot zooms start at 38 millimeters on the wide end. And, you know, 28 to 38 might not sound like a big difference, but I'll tell you what, in the field, it made the difference between me when I was taking architectural shots of buildings. I could stay on the sidewalks a lot of the time and not have to walk in the street and risk my life getting run over. So I actually kind of like that 28 millimeter end of the zoom, so I did like it for that. Another thing I think that helped is usually when I go out shooting, I've got a bunch of cameras with me. If I'm doing a camera challenge, I've got 2 cameras right there. I usually have another camera I'm reviewing, so that's 3 cameras. Sometimes I add a 4th camera, which is maybe a toy camera like a Diana or a Holger or a Debonair or something like that. So it's much more common for me to go out with 3 or 4 cameras. And I knew this going into this was going to be a heavier camera than what I'm used to carrying, so I made the choice just to have 1 dedicated camera that day. And having just the 1 camera like that actually was kind of liberating in a way too. I think it helped my shooting style too, and I got shooting a little bit quicker rather than have to lug around all those cameras. So keeping that into account ahead of time I think also helped. So the Pentax Zoom 280p, not a camera I would actively seek out again, but if you come across one of these at a thrift store for a few bucks, probably worth picking up. If you want to see more videos like this, go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell down below for notifications. You can find more of my photography on Instagram at TheOldCameraGuy. Until next time, do some good, have some fun, and shoot some film.